good evening, everyone. Hi, how are you? And yes, I am a mess. I apologize for not coming right on live at 5:15, but I have been knee deep in gardening. As you can tell, I am all sweaty. I've got my t-shirt on. I am really a disaster. But I have you know that my garden is starting to come together, and this is our Sunday time to chat. And I'm sitting on my front lawn instead of maybe out in my backyard, or definitely don't want to be in the house. But everybody is out and about, and they are gardening and mowing their lawn and doing a little pressure washing and doing all sorts of great things to get their houses in tip-top shape, myself included. That's why I am a sweaty, dirty mess. And if you see that I have dirt on me, yes, that's okay, because you know what? It's just one of those days. It's just one of those absolutely, positively beautiful, gorgeous days that we can go outside and that we can enjoy being outside. There are so many of you that are jumping on. Thanks so much, everybody, for jumping on. Every Sunday around this time, we sit and we chat for about a half hour or 40 minutes or so, and we talk about hashtag reset button, because here we are in the new normal, right? We are managing. We are trying to work our way around things. Feels like we are starting to jump back into maybe what life was like before, but it's not quite there, right? I mean, you're still wearing your masks when you go to the store. I hope you are, because we've talked about it before. And if this is your first time joining, let me tell you, you got to wear your mask, because it's not only for your own safety, but it's for your neighbor's safety, it's for your neighbor's children's safety, it's for your family's safety, and it's for the person that's in front of the line at the grocery store, or the person behind you. If you are wherever you are right now, you're probably home. I don't know, you might be out and about. But if you are home, just stop for a moment and look to your right and look to your left. You can look straight and you can look behind you, and there are the people that you are actually helping to save their lives by wearing that mask. So thank you for those of you that are being so diligent in wearing your mask. So why am I so gross looking? And coming live to you, Paula, why wouldn't you get yourself together before coming on live? Well, because you know what, this is a dose of reality. This is what our conversations are about on Sunday evenings. We talk about the real deal here. We're talking about what's going on. So for those of you that are starting to cook your dinner, awesome. I hope you're making a great dinner. You can share exactly what's on the menu. We talk a lot about them navigating and getting our way through this kind of very odd time, and finding the things that maybe help us to find our balance, or help to make us a little happy, or at least make us feel like we kind of used to feel, right? Because things are so strange right now. And yes, it is the new normal, and we're on the edge of, if we're not already getting into the new normal, right? And I know some of you out there are saying to yourself, you know what, I hate that term. I don't like that term. And you know what? There's a lot of people that say that out there, and that's okay. Pick whatever term you want to say. I say hashtag reset button, because for the past few months, it's been a gift in so many ways. Of course, there have been lives lost, and I don't dismiss that whatsoever. And I pray for all of those that are sick, who have lost lives or lost friends. I pray for all of them. But for a lot of us, this has been our time to take a break, to take a step back, to reevaluate our lives, to maybe change our lives a little bit. Maybe we are just approaching life in a different perspective. Maybe we are actually stopping to smell the roses. And right now it might be smelling the lilacs, because I know my lilac bush is in full bloom. So it's time for us to take a little bit of a break. Now, we are starting to, though, move back into that into that where we were before, but not quite, right? So are you prepared? Anybody can feel free to jump in and make a comment about anything. So as you're starting to prepare yourself to get back to work, are you ready? Maybe you thought to yourself, geez, I'm home working at home, and oh my God, I can't believe I have to work at home. But then you became accustomed to it and you really liked it and you enjoyed it. So now as you are maybe preparing to go back to work, you're saying to yourself, oh my gosh, I don't know. Am I going to like it? How am I going to handle that? Maybe you're starting to come up with a game plan. For any of you that have just tuned in, share what your game plan is. Are you ready? Maybe you're making that suggestion or idea or that plan that maybe you are not going to go back to work. Maybe you are going to try to do everything from home from now on. It could be. That could be part of your plan. So for me, though, I'll share a quick story because I do love to tell stories and share stories. So this week was my first week working my new hybrid schedule. So I'm working 3 days at home and 2 days at work. And yes, definitely different going back to work because the rules have changed. When you go back to work, think about it. It's not going to be the same when you go back to work, because you have to be courteous and mindful of those around you and what is still going on and things that are still happening now, especially, with I'll call it the C word, right? So, like for us, there's a whole game plan that is in place, and it may be that way for you. My friend Joe jumped on, which I love you, Joe, and Joe says, let's enjoy the summer safely because when November comes, the virus will probably fire back up again. It could, you don't know, but that's true though. Let's enjoy the summer and let's play it safely. I know I'm like a mess, or people are just tuning in going, Paula, you look like a disaster. And that's okay because I'm in the middle of gardening. See, I stopped gardening for you folks because I know this is a really important conversation because we have it every Sunday. And for so many of you, we connect on a weekly basis, and you enjoy this, and you really like the engagement, and you really like the conversation, and I really do too. They say when it comes to healing, those that give a little bit of healing get the healing back as well. So for all of you that jump on here and listen and throw in your 2 cents and say something, and just say a suggestion on what you're doing or even what you're making for dinner, I appreciate that, and I thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, if you are watching, you can give me some loves, maybe a thumbs up or a little wave or whatever you so choose. It would be so great to hear from you and make sure that you're out there, because that's another reason why I do this, is that I know that you're out there and you're safe and you're doing what you do, right? So here we are on this extremely hot Sunday afternoon, and man, didn't it seem like yesterday we were stuck in winter forever? And just like when you thought we were coming out of winter, we might be approaching spring, then we got hit again with a little bit of snow. I mean, I just remember a couple of weeks ago, I think it was or maybe it was 3 weeks ago. I don't know, the weeks are starting to blend, right? Hi, Susie, so nice to see you. The weeks are starting to blend, right? And I remember just a few weeks ago that there was snow. I was sitting inside and it was snowing outside. And I thought to myself, this is crazy. It's snowing and it's May. What is going on? And here we are. Tomorrow is Memorial Day. So for those of you that have served, always think about you. And for those of you who have family members that serve, thank you so much for your service, your family service as well. Lynn Schwab says, bless your mess. Well, thank you so much, Lynn. Yes, I am a disaster from head to toe. Thank goodness you don't have shots on my toes right now. I don't like wearing shoes when I garden. My toes are muddy. Really gross. I did a petty on myself yesterday. I don't even know why, because it's a mess now. But that's okay, because you know what? I got my feet in the dirt. I got my hands in the dirt. Oh, they're looking a little cleaner now because I did wash the hands for you, my friends. So I washed my hands, but I was really, really messed, and I definitely need a Manny and a petty. So I'm a little disaster. But let's get back to our conversation. So how's everybody doing? Is everybody ready to enjoy your day off tomorrow? A lot of people have the day off tomorrow. I do not, but that's okay. That's the biz. So how are you enjoying your day? You might be trying to do something a little different, because so many of us have been spending 7 days, 24/7 with our family, right? So when we would normally have Memorial Day, we might be like, oh, yay, I get to spend it with my family and have a picnic. And Not so much this year, right? So what are you doing different? Why don't you share with me what you're doing different for this Memorial Day? I know I'm working, but I'll be working from home, so that'll be a little different. I'll be gardening late into the day today, which is good because I'll probably be very achy tomorrow, and that will make it easy for me to get to work because I don't have to do anything more than walk across the hallway. So that is great. But, what are you doing different this holiday? What are you doing that you wouldn't normally do? Is there maybe a special meal that you are cooking? Or maybe you are doing some social distancing. Maybe you are getting together with your neighbors and you're setting up chairs and you're kind of having a conversation across the way. Maybe you have met in a parking lot. I know actually I saw a couple of those yesterday. People in parking lots at the equidistance area, and they had balloons for birthday, graduation, whatever it is. Maybe you're doing something like that. Now, I have insider information, and it's not from me, it's from a source that went to a few parks yesterday and said there wasn't a lot of social distancing going on. So I don't have much to say about that because that's up to you folks. But, maybe it would be a good idea to try to keep your distance and wear that mask. I'm not preaching, just suggesting, just so that we keep each other safe and in good shape and in good health, right? So as we continue to chat today, I don't know if there's any gardeners that are out there. If there's anybody out there that's a gardener, please feel free to throw out there some ideas of some gardening, different things that you are gardening. It's really, this is the outdoors time, and a lot of people have been doing something called creating victory gardens. So, which goes back to the days of World War I and II, I think it's both. And when people were asked to make their own vegetable gardens and just create a little extra sustainability for themselves. So, that is, I'm actually planting a little bit more veggies than I normally do. I visited my sister today, who I think is still watching, and she has an amazing vegetable garden. Her and her husband have an amazing garden, of which I am dipping into for the berries. We have to go out there and pick berries, and I'll be growing some elderberry out there as well. So for those of you that love the elderberry syrup, that is across the western New York area and in Brooklyn, we are going to begin starting to grow our own elderberries as well. So, and my friend Ange just jumped on. Hi, Ange. So nice to see you. Susie says seafood risotto and corn on the cob. That sounds absolutely delicious. I think we're going to make a little pasta salad today and maybe some ribs on the grill. So I think that sounds absolutely delish. So again, anybody who's out there and you're doing, this is a little different. Our Memorial Day weekend, usually we're at the beach, and we're at the beach, we're at our cottages, we are having big family picnics, so things are a little different. And maybe this is time for us, this is a quieter time for us. So maybe I will, Sherry, I'll save some ribs for you. Maybe this is time for us to think about the men and women who have fought for our freedom. Maybe this is a time to thank those that we know that are in the service. Maybe it's time to write them a card or send them an email or a phone call or anything. Or maybe it is one of your relatives, and you can go to the cemetery and place a flag at their gravesite. Something that just says, thank you, right? Thank you for your service. Thank you what you've done for us. So just an idea, throwing it out there, little something different. Maybe you can, if you have children, doing something like that could also help spur a conversation about history, and that's really a great conversation to have, right? Because I think we're starting to, are we running out of things to talk about with our kids or with our family? Are we running out of things to do? If you are not, and I don't think anybody really can, but if you feel that you are running out of things to do, hey, throw it up here and say, I need a suggestion for, I'd like to do something with. That's what this is about on Sunday afternoon. I'm going to take my sunglasses off. I know my hair is buck wild, and that's because I'm sweating like crazy out here because I've been digging in the garden, digging in the dirt, planting new stuff. So, this is, it really is, I have to say, an amazing time right now. So pretty quiet here in my neighborhood, as you can hear. Don't hear too much of anything. Maybe a car coming by now and again. Now, if you're just jumping on, I am on my front lawn right now, literally sitting on my front lawn with my big arborvitae behind me, and I'm actually taking a break. So I'm taking a break with you. I've been planting for the past hour like a crazy woman and mowing the lawn. And I always want to take a break and have a conversation with you because I want to know how you're doing and how are you managing this time that that we are working through. And this being Memorial Day, how are you celebrating things a little differently? I have to work, so that's it doesn't leave a lot of time for celebrating. But tonight we'll have a lovely dinner together, and I'll be gardening until the sun goes down. And tomorrow the boys will be doing what they want to do. Actually, my son wants to mow the lawn tonight, so I'm good on that. He wants to mow the lawn. But how are we? It's such a different time now, even versus last week. Wouldn't you agree? Because last week we were just going into, if you live in New York State, just going into that phase 1. We're just approaching it. We started it. It was the green light was given on Monday, and Tuesday we started it, and here we are. We're in phase 1. Phase 2 is coming up, and then we have, of course, 3 and 4. Some people are pushing to have everything open at once. Everybody's got their opinion on that one. It's a process, right? It is a process. And I'm just a personal opinion. I'm actually glad we're doing it in a little bit of phases, just a little bit, because it gets us back into that mindset and make sure that we have, especially businesses, if they have everything set, they make sure that they are following the new rules of the game as we begin moving in that direction of getting ourselves back into business. My business is a home-based business, so I work out of my home, but I know I have a lot of friends that actually have brick and mortars, and they cannot wait to open up the doors and have people come in. But, this has given us time right now to have conversations that we probably, well, first of all, we would have never thought we would have some of these conversations, right? But we are having them now, and we're making sure that we're having them with the people that we need to have them, so that when we do open our doors again, that we are 100% in the understanding of what we're doing is good for us or good for the business person, whoever it is that owns that brick and mortar, and good for every person that walks in that door, because we want everyone to be safe, right? Don't we? Absolutely. So, and if you are a business owner, feel free to jump on here and say, I can't wait. I've been waiting for what seems like an eternity. Maybe you want to share some suggestions on what you're doing as you prepare to open up your doors again. Fire up your grills, sharpen your scissors, get those pedicure places ready. Maybe and there are some of us. If you have not seen my podcast, I strongly urge that you listen to the podcast. It's on right here on Facebook, and it's also on YouTube. And the young lady that I featured last week, her name is Nikki Betatovich, and she's with Cosmic Lotus Jewelry. She just jumped on. Hi, Nikki. So thanks for jumping on. And Nikki's an amazing business owner. She's an amazing business owner who, like many of us, rely heavily on events, like, all these summer events, gardening events or outdoor events or things down at Canal Side. And these are not happening this year. So how are we able to keep in business? How can we sustain our business? We're finding new ways to do that. This is one way of doing that, right? Because we can connect with our customers still, or connect with our friends. I use this to connect with friends. Really, we all need to find something. I was having a great conversation with a woman from Arizona, believe it or not, yesterday. And we were having this conversation, and we were talking about the pandemic. And she said, Paula, can you share a story one of the best stories of something that happened to you during the pandemic. And as I was starting to talk to her and share some of those stories with her, I said something, and she goes, well, you know what? That's actually the story right there. And really what it was it's more like an understanding. So for me, for those of you who don't know me, or maybe you know me, my hair is so crazy. For those of you, I just look at it and I keep seeing things stick up. For those of you who don't know that I own a business, I do own a business. It's called Blessings by Nature. It's a plant-based business, and this is not meant to be a commercial. But so with my business, the reasoning behind my business is, yes, there is a line of product. I have a line of herbal sachets, and I have a line of syrups, and I have a line of plants and all sorts of beautiful plant-based creations, okay? Now, for me, that brings joy and peace and balance into my life. I have a career and then I have a business. For me, that brings joy and peace into my life. And that is what helps to sustain me and keep me moving. I found that that is my passion. That keeps me going. And for you, maybe you don't have a business. That's okay. Find what is your passion. Find that passion, and it will help lift you up. It will help motivate you. It will help push you. It will help give you hope. And I think that's really the most important word, is the word hope. If you find something that you're passionate about, it gives you, yes, it does give you that balance, and it does give you hope, and it gives you your fuel. It gives you your fuel to, yes, you know what? I know I'm going back to work on Monday, but that's okay. I'm great, because you know, when I go home, I'm going to garden, or I know that I've been writing, and that is really, over this time frame, I've been writing like a mad person, and that's my passion. I found that that's my passion, and I love it, and I'm going to make sure that I keep that time for myself, because I have found something I'm passionate about. It is so moving. It is so energizing. It is so, like, it's like a euphoric, I'm catching my breath because I'm thinking about it, because it energizes me just as I'm talking about it. And I just said that like all in one breath. When you find something you are passionate about, it keeps you moving, and it keeps you in such a high vibrating place that you feel that you can tackle anything at any time, or get through it, or not just help yourself, but help your partner, help your child, help your pet, help your neighbor, help someone, a friend that you know needs a little uplift. You've found your passion. Passion fuels your life. It truly does. Hi, Lori. So nice to see my friend Darlene also jumped on. It's so nice to see everybody. Kim is on here as well. Betsy and Lisa and Sherry. I'm so happy to see everybody that is tuning in today. So if you are tuning in, then you know my name. I am Paula D'Amico, and I like to call myself Western New York's Life Gardener, but you're just tuning in because maybe you just know me, and you're like, yeah, you know what? I know she does those talks every Sunday evening. And here I am, and it's called #reset button, because this is the new normal. But I didn't want to call it the new normal because we are navigating our way through something different, and we're relying on each other, right? I have my passion. It fuels me. It fuels me here at home. It fuels me at work. You've got your passion. Maybe you haven't found your passion, or maybe you just found your passion. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. But here we are navigating through this new world of ours, right? Remember, it used to be where there was like a million concerts and events, and we were going out and doing everything everywhere, and now things had just stopped, and we caught our breath. And now, as we are beginning to move back in that direction of starting up again, we're slowly breathing and taking it in. We found our balance. Hopefully you've been able to do a lot of the things that you have been asking for extra time. Isn't that funny how we, for so long, we have been saying, I don't know if anybody else has been saying it, but I've been saying it. Oh my God, I just would like one more hour. I would just like, you know what? I would just like it if maybe I didn't have so many events going on. I'm so blessed, but geez, that's a lot of stuff, and I could really use a break. I really wish, I think one of the things I wished for this summer was going into better weather. I said, I wish I had more time to tend to my garden, and and here it is, because I'm not doing all those events that I normally do. So now I am digging deep into my garden and planning and planting and doing all sorts of amazing, I think, amazing things in my garden, in my life, and taking a moment, that's really a big deal too. Taking that moment, that it's right now, it was really hot, and I'm sitting here in the shade in my front yard, literally on my lawn, on my front yard. So if you drove by my house, if you knew where I lived, and you would be like, what is that woman doing on her front yard with a camera in front of her? There was one guy that walked by, and I'm sure he was like, I think he did give me a little side eye going, what is that chick doing? And if he was going to ask me, I would tell him I'm having a conversation with some of my closest friends, right? Because that's what we do on Sundays. So right now, at this time of day, it's an absolutely beautiful, it was a gorgeous day. Drop dead, gorgeous, fabulous. Hit it out of the ballpark day today, right? I'm sitting in the cool grass in the shade. If you have a little bit of shade in your backyard, I suggest you grab yourself maybe a lemonade, a water, throw some lemon in it, maybe some green tea or a beverage of your choice, maybe a glass of wine, maybe it's I don't know, something, a beer, I don't know, and grab a spot in your backyard in the shade. It is the absolutely most perfect temperature. It's just right. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And there's a little bit of a breeze too. And if you notice, it's a lot quieter than it used to be when you would sit outside on a Memorial Day weekend in past. I don't know why I'm crossing my arms. That would be because, we're in quarantine. We're dealing with the C word. And it's so enjoyable. You can actually, you can hear a car go by, like the car that just went by. Or a plane. Hear the plane? There's the plane. But once all the traffic stops, then you'll hear the birds chirping, and you'll hear the kids playing, and the giggles, and you'll hear the noises of people mowing their lawn, or maybe they're stacking wood, or stacking their stones, or working on their garden. You can hear people actually digging in the dirt and doing stuff. Things that you probably didn't hear before, because maybe, you were caught in the whirling dervish of what the world is. But here we are, reset button. We hit the reset button, and so here we are moving into that next phase. Well, hopefully we're in New York. We're hopefully moving into that next phase really soon, and right now we have the wonderful weather to be able to lift our spirits. So I just mentioned we talk about passion fueling us, giving us that gumption. That gives us that mojo to get up and pull ourselves up by our big girl panties or our big boy pants and move on and do what we need to do, right? Sometimes, like for us in Western New York, it's the beautiful weather that kind of gives us that energy too, doesn't it? Because we pay our dues, don't we, with the winter and all the snow and the cold weather, the blowing, and it seems like it's forever. And it takes forever to get to spring, and here we get to spring, and then here we are. Summer has finally arrived. Let's hope, not officially, but the weather's here. Let's hope that the weather stays for a little while, and we don't have nice weather for a week, and then it goes down the in the trash. Let's not even put it out there. We're not gonna. It's gonna be a beautiful summer because we have an opportunity to actually enjoy the summer and do things probably that we haven't done in a long time. Maybe you worked most of your summer, or maybe I don't know, maybe you were so busy working during the week that on the weekends you were tending to the things that you have to do around your yard, and then you didn't have time to actually enjoy the outside, and now you do. So if you do have a little bit of that extra time, I'm going to tame my hair just a little bit here. If you do have a little bit of extra time on your hands this summer or for the next couple of weeks, why don't you share with me? Because this part of this conversation is about sharing, and it's about letting me know, how are you doing? So if you're doing good out there, show me a thumbs up, give me a little love, let me know that you're out there. I love to see that you're out there, and that and that you're okay. And well, I'm okay because I'm here. I'm looking pretty good then versus when I first started. I have to tell you, I was pretty sweaty, and I'm pretty sure I had some mud on my face in a couple of locations because I'm in the midst of gardening, and I'm not stopping. So once I finish chatting with you, my friend, once we finish chatting, I'm gonna go back and I have to give my son a little bit of a lawn mowing lesson. So he's mowed the lawn before, but he wants to do it. He hasn't done it in a long time, and I'll be honest, it's he was having a little bit of a problem. He was kind of waging a battle with the lawnmower. So, but he wants to help out, and that's amazing. And I'm gonna let him, for darn tootin's sake, I'm definitely gonna let him help out. So, and that's great too. Have you noticed that your family might be pitching in a little bit more? You're all together, and everybody's pitching in to keep the house a little bit more together, and that also it gives you that opportunity to take a breath and enjoy each other and conversation a little bit more, and maybe stop dead in your tracks and like me every once in a while, stop dead in my tracks and sit and look at my son who's 19 going on 20, and he's a young man and he's not a little boy anymore. He's nearly, oh geez, well, I'm not even 5 foot and he's pretty much 6, so he's over a foot taller than I am. But to just sit and have a conversation with him about certain things in life, it's such a different moment, such a different conversation. But because we work together as a family, working together more, really simple things, doing laundry, fixing things around the house. Tonight, my son mowing the lawn, I'm planting. I'm having the guys help me with some huge bricks I just got my hands on, redoing the backyard a little bit. But everybody works together, and we're working together, and then we take a break. We make sure we have that moment where we take a deep breath and we take a break, and we have that time to really enjoy each other and enjoy each other's company and conversation and thoughts and just engagement. Because I think we get so caught up in so many of the things that we do that we just don't give ourselves a break. We don't allow ourselves to have a break, and we don't allow those around us to be able to be engaged more with us, and us to be more engaged with them. So what an amazing time of year it is, right? I keep looking around because there's so much going on, but not going on. I'm sitting here on my front lawn. So if you hear things going on, I think my neighbor is power washing. That's the number reason why I'm on the front lawn, because I wasn't going to go live from the inside the house. I'm sitting on the front lawn, and I'm just kind of watching what's going on in the neighborhood. There really isn't a lot. Like, I'm not saying like there's tons of people walking around, or there's tons of cars driving by, or there's a lot of anything going on. It really isn't. It's just there's a beautiful breeze going on. There's birds flying around. There's every once in a while a funky car that goes by. It's just, I'm looking around going, man, I just absolutely love it. And it's so awesome, is it not, to finally be outside and look around and see green again. Just to see green is amazing, and that really lifts you up. If anything, if for nothing lifts you up, this weather and just taking a look at life around you as it begins to absolutely explode into the beautiful summer that it always has here in Western New York, because it is pretty amazing here in Western New York. I have to agree. So you know what, folks? I think I actually might be wrapping up a little early today, and that is because, well, you know what? It's a holiday weekend, and I would love to do a little bit more gardening, and I know you would love to be spending a little bit more time with your family. And I truly enjoy sitting here and having a conversation with you every Sunday and talking about all the different things, and how we are navigating our way through the new normal. You know, we've hit the hashtag reset button. We're doing things a whole different way. It's a whole different world, but that's okay. And we are here supporting each other. We're lifting each other up. We are we're creating the, I know people don't like it, but I'm going to say it anyways. We're creating that new normal, where we hit the reset button and we're creating something new for us. We are energizing ourselves. We are energizing our community. Have we not re-energized our community? And a lot of people have found their passion, and maybe you're still looking for your passion. Maybe you're still looking for that something that fuels you, something that really gives you that gumption to maybe go do something that you always wanted to do, or just gives you a little bit extra fuel for your life. And you will find that. If you have not found that already, you will find that. And it's a pretty amazing day. So you know what? I'm not going to keep you anymore. I got to throw those ribs on the grill and work on my gardening and get my son back on that lawnmower. And everyone, for those of you that are in the service, have family that. For those of you that are in the service, first of all, thank you for your service. For those of you who have family that served, I thank your family members for that service. We remember them, and we are so grateful for them. For those of you who are not in the service and you are just home enjoying our conversation, thank you so much for joining me. I love sitting here and having this conversation with you every Sunday. You know, it's just a little bit of time out of my day, and hopefully it fills your day with a little bit of extra something, a little extra hope, a little extra light, a little extra bright light, as we hit that reset button and take on new days every day. So God bless you all. We hope you have a wonderful, wonderful holiday weekend with your family. Enjoy the beauty that is around you, and I will see you next Sunday right here on Facebook, 5:15. Enjoy, everyone.